Hello everybody and welcome to another video where today I'm going to be reacting to the NFL Divisional round of the NFL playoffs. It is here, it is over, and it was one of the best weekends of playoff football I've ever seen, and probably by far my most favorite four straight games. Just all four games were amazing, and it was so much fun to watch. And I'm going to be giving my breakdown, my opinion, my reaction to them. First game I want to talk about is between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans. The number 4 seed and the number 1 seed face off in Nashville, and this game was very interesting from literally the first play. First play of the game, Ryan Tannehill throws an interception, and that was a common theme in this one. And the Cincinnati Bengals, after getting that interception, getting the momentum, they would end up scoring 6 straight points, getting 2 field goals, and were able to get to a 6-0 lead earlier in the game. The Titans would then bounce back with a Derrick Henry touchdown, rushing touchdown, went for 2. Not sure why, he could have went for 1. And they went for 2, did not get it, and so the game was tied at 6. This tied score would not stay for quite a long time, as the Cincinnati Bengals would score 10 straight points to get to 16-6. This score would also not stay for that long, as the Titans would roar back, scoring 10 straight points to tie the game at 16 in the fourth quarter. This score would also not last for that long either. The game was very back and forth. Bengals lead, Titans tie it, Bengals lead, Titans tie it, and this game was a tie up until around 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter when Tennessee had the ball. They were driving down the field. They had all the momentum. They had the ball inside their own 35-yard line. And Ryan Tannehill throws a ball to midfield to his receiver, gets tipped up in the air, and is caught by a linebacker for the Bengals, intercepted, and ran back about 5 yards. And so with 2 minutes to go, the Bengals had the ball, Titans side of the field, and were rushing now with 2 minutes left to try and get into field goal range quickly, trying to drain the clock to 3 seconds and kick the game-winning field goal with no time left. This would actually happen for the Bengals, as Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati offense would drive down the field slowly, wasting a lot of Titans timeouts, and getting down to about the 30-yard line or so, about the 35-yard line, for a 50 or so yard field goal for Evan McPherson, who would drill it with 0 seconds, actually predicting that that would happen for them earlier before the play, as he was iced, and he made it and sent the Bengals to the AFC Championship game for the first time in 33 years, about 34 years actually, which is pretty insane. Congrats to the Bengals. They defeat the number 1 seed in the AFC, which is a huge upset and is a great game to watch. It was a thriller. I was supporting the Bengals because I just think they're a really cool underdog, and they were able to win, and they move on to play the winner of the Kansas City Chief and Buffalo Bill game. Second game I want to talk about is between the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. The Saturday night game was also a lot of fun, with this game riding a lot on the Packers, with this could be possibly, or this season would be the final season of Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, and a bunch of their core. This was sort of the all-in year for them, and on the first drive it showed, with them scoring an easy touchdown all the way down the field driving. They easily scored a touchdown, and the 49er defense could not stop them. The San Francisco 49ers offense could not work at all this entire game, scoring no points in the first half, and it only being a 7-0 score in the first half. The first half actually ended with a blocked field goal for the Packers at San Francisco blocked, which would have made it 10-0, but it was, as I mentioned, block, and so it remained a 1-score game. This score would also not last for that long, as the San Francisco 49ers would score a field goal in the third quarter, and then the Packers would score a field goal early in the fourth quarter to make it a 10-3 game. The offenses were not showing up as it started to get really snowy and cold, and it was not a fun game to be on offense, and this score 10-3 would last up until about 3 minutes to go in the game on a blocked punt that resulted in a touchdown for the San Francisco 49ers, which would tie the game. This all happened because Aaron Rodgers, on a third down, decided to launch it for Davante Adams, who was double covered, almost intercepted, and instead they had to punt inside their own 10-yard line which was a block, went up in the air. Nobody was looking for it, and San Francisco got it back and ran it back for a touchdown, like a 2-yard touchdown. And then this was a tie game again, so it was a pretty bad collapse for the Packers. Then on their next drive, where they're now trying to win the game after getting a blocked punt, stall out, don't work at all. They don't get any yardage, and Deebo Samuel on the punt return gets a pretty significant yardage to get them into about midfield for Jimmy Garoppolo to actually drive down the field, get in the field goal range, and kick the game-winning field goal. There is snow. This is a terrible weather game, and so the field goal range was significantly cut to a lot shorter of a kick, and then the 49er offense was able to just run the ball easily, get a couple first downs. The Green Bay D just shut off in the final couple drives, and then in the final few seconds, Robbie Gould kicked a game-winning field goal to eliminate the other first seed in the NFC, and the Green Bay Packers were eliminated, and San Francisco gets another huge upset and advances to the NFC Championship game to play either the Rams or the Bucks. This game was very fun to watch. Unfortunately, it sucks that the Green Bay Packers may see a huge, just sudden reset of their team, and with Aaron Rodgers saying that he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild, it may show that this may have been the final straw in this team, and this is it, and it's over, and Green Bay's going to have to go back to the drawing board to get a new franchise QB and stuff like that, which will be very interesting. As a Seahawks fan, it'll be very fun, but it's unfortunate that Aaron Rodgers is probably not going to be a Green Bay Packer anymore. The third game I want to talk about between the LA Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game started off great for LA, scoring a touchdown on their first drive and ending up getting a 20-3 lead in the middle of the second quarter. They would then expand this lead early in the third, getting a 27-3 lead. Then the Rams decided, hey, we're going to win, we're not going to blow this, and let up 3 fumbles to get this game to about 27-13 with about 6 or so minutes left in the game. They missed a field goal late in the game, which would have made it 30-13, and then gave Tampa Bay the ball at around the 50-yard line. They would drive down to about the 30-yard line of the Rams, but would stall out on a 4th down, giving the ball back to the Rams. They would then punt it, drain some more clock, and with about 4 minutes to go, Tampa Bay would launch it downfield for Mike Evans, who scores a touchdown over Jalen Ramsey to make it a 27-20 game, a 1-score game for the first time since about a 7-3 game in the first quarter. So, a massive collapse. Then, for the Rams, they fumble the ball on their next drive, and when they got the first down, they fumbled. It would have been their 4th fumble of the game already. The Bucks recover, get the ball with about 2 minutes to go in the game, no timeouts, and they end up actually getting a touchdown on a 4th and inches and scoring to tie the game at 27-27. So everybody's like, oh, the script, Tom Brady's going to win. And instead, Cooper Kupp was like, hey, I'm here. We're not going to lose this game. And so he gets a huge play, about a 15-yard, 16-yard play when they start the drive at about their own 25. They then get another huge play with the Tampa Bay D just deciding to not show up, I guess. And they decided that it would make sense to leave Cooper Kupp wide open, let him go right by the top safety, catch the ball easily, and get inside the Tampa Bay 15-yard line. And that basically ended the game as the Buccaneers had no timeouts. The Rams wanted to get down there and spike it. They ended up spiking it with about 4 seconds left in the game. And then Matt Gay kicked the game-winning field goal to win the game 30-27 for the Rams and move on to the NFC Championship to play the San Francisco 49ers in LA. It'll be a great NFC West matchup. Unfortunate one of my division rivals has to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm rooting for San Fran as they've been the underdog. And the Rams, it'll be great for them to go all in and then lose. It's going to be a fun game. The final game I want to talk about is between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. This was by far the craziest game of the 4, even though the other 4 had 3 game-winning field goals in each of them. And this game was by far the craziest, with it being a shootout, a non-existent defense, and it was just a bunch of fun to watch. Kansas City started off the game down 7-0 and tied it back at 7-7 with 2 opening drive scores by both teams. So it was a great start with no defense whatsoever. This game was tied at 14 at halftime after both teams scored another 2 touchdowns. Kansas City had a chance to score a field goal at the end of the first half, but missed, unfortunately, and then that cost them later in the game. So tied at 14 at half. Then in the second half, KC scored 9 points in the third quarter, including a field goal to make it 17-14, and then a touchdown and a missed extra point to make it 23-14. The Bills would bounce right back, scoring a touchdown on literally the first play of their next drive. A huge 75-yard bomb to Gabriel Davis for his second touchdown of the game at that point. A huge play for him, which would make the game 23-21. KC would then get a field goal in the third quarter to make it 26-21. Then the Bills would decide to chew the clock in the middle of the fourth quarter. They chewed about 5 minutes on the clock to score after the 2-minute warning, and then get the 2-point conversion to make it a 29-26 game late in the fourth quarter. With about 2 minutes to go, the Chiefs would get a huge play for them, with Tyreek Hill scoring about a 65-yard passing touchdown after he just ran through everybody easily and scored a touchdown to make it 33-29. The Bills would then respond themselves with about a minute on the clock, going down the field easily and scoring a huge touchdown for Gabriel Davis to make it 36-33. And with about 13 seconds left in the game, then KC would need a miracle to get into field goal range, which they getting 2 huge plays and 2 timeouts, obviously, to stop the clock, getting about 4 seconds left, where Harrison Butker would drill a field goal to send the game to overtime, tied at 36. Finally, in overtime, Chiefs get the ball. They don't let the Bills on offense as they go down the field easily and score a touchdown to win the game 42-36. That is insane. Just a great game to watch. No defense. I love when there's no defenses in games. And this game was just a shootout, really. And it was back and forth in those final 2.5 minutes. And it was by far the most crazy game to watch, and one that I'll definitely look back in the future and say, wow, what an amazing game. The Chiefs move on and will play the Cincinnati Bengals in Arrowhead next week. And it will be very fun as the Chiefs make it to their 4th straight AFC Championship game, which I think has not been done since the Bills made it to 4 straight AFC Championship games. And I think 4 straight Super Bowls as well. Great game to watch. Bills, it's unfortunate that they get eliminated, but one team has to lose there, and it's unfortunate their matchup happened. And instead, the Chiefs are moving on, and the Bengals are moving on, and that'll be a great AFC Championship game. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this little breakdown. It was a little long, but still, I hope you enjoyed. It was a crazy weekend of divisional football, and one that I'll definitely look back on and say, what an amazing week. It was just all game winners, and one of the most exhilarating playoff weeks of all time. And this season just been crazy. Just a bunch of game winners, a bunch of walk-offs. The Week 18 was crazy, Wildcard Weekend was crazy, and this week was even crazier. So, hope you enjoyed. I'm going to be making the AFC Championship video in a week. But, yeah, that's it. Thank you all for all the support on my clips videos. I'm going to be trying to make more well-rounded content, so different content, including commentary videos on sports, just my opinions on stuff. And, yeah, hope you enjoyed. That's about it. See ya.